I would suggest this because if I'm to believe, for instance, the moment where Christ meets a brother and asks this powerful question, who is sitting at the pool and is waiting for the help to get them in the pool. Why? Because the pool possessed the healing that this lame man needs. And if I'm going to be healed, said this lame man, I need to get in the pool. But Jesus didn't say, take my hand and get in the pool. Let me help you in the pool. Jesus asked this powerful question that I believe that should be a challenge for us, and that is, do you want to be healed?
Amen.
And asking that question, he had to say it more than once, because of course what do we do when we are in need of something? When we are depressed, we start talking about our depression. And Jesus asked the question a second time, do you want to be healed?
Yes.
And when he decides to just respond to the question and says yes, Jesus says, then pick up your mat.
Get up
and go. This is a shift here. This is a shift where now the power is in the one in me. It's not in Jesus. The power is literally in this lame man who gets up, picks up his mat, and walks. And I think that today, our discussion, part of the topic of today was talking about depression and how do, and those of us in ministry, how do we maintain? And this conversation has been a great deal of pressure being stacked upon the minister or the leader, and we assume that that is the source of healing. Well, I would think that part of the dilemma that we have right now, where you have so many pastors who are leaving the pulpits, you have so many pastors who are depressed and who are hiding their truths and not function, because we have all of this circumstances that says this is what you should do and this is what you should be. When Christ has been showing us that it's in each of us. God fearfully and wonderfully created us. And while we have been functioning for a long time on the idea that only you or only you or only you can speak to me, I think that's the real dilemma we're in. The dilemma is not that we don't have somebody, a Martin Luther King, standing in the front line. The problem is we got 100,000 people who don't know that they are gifted and anointed and powerful to shift. And Christ tries to tell his disciples, he says, all you need is faith. The faith the size of a mustard seed is enough to shift your circumstances. And if we are to really heal as leaders, we have to stop assuming the role of Superman or Superwoman. While we are gifted and we are anointed and God has given us the power to touch, heal, and to change life, we're not the only ones.
Right.
Amen.
Can I
Amen.
One time I studied, we throw out the word preacher or minister, and I studied the word and went, what is that? And what I was led to is that someone that makes a proclamation. And at the end of the day, I've always said this, I don't care who you are, who's in the pulpit, is that I want to hear from God. And so I don't want to put pressure on a minister, on a leader, but the reality of it is I want the person that is speaking a word from God. We can talk about that I have faith in me. I can't see the faith. So I'm not knocking what you're saying. I'm saying that I'm blind. And I'm talking about me. I'm talking about I can't hear God. I can't see God. So because I can't do that, I can't get up and walk until someone tells me that I can do that. I can't do it. There are so many times, I'm talking about me, I'm not alluding to anything, I'm talking about Jay right now. It's just that the reality of it is, sometimes I don't believe. So I wouldn't joke when I said I walked away from ministry. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, it's just that when I walked away from ministry, it's just that it wasn't because I wasn't taught. It wasn't. It's just that because I didn't see. I can't understand. But I'm feeling all of these things as a young man, and I'm seeing all of these things as a young man. And what I'm saying is that at some point, is that I need some type of example, because I don't have the ability to get up and do this on my own. And so I get the encouragement. I mean, I'm not against that, but for myself, from my experience, someone that has been out there that is just like feeling hopeless, feeling that depression that you're talking about, that still is in my life. You know what I mean? And I can tell you that for real. That sometimes I have, even when I go to work, I got to put on the happy face. That's what I call it. That's my way of saying it. So people on the outside see this happy person, but on the inside, it's depressed. And so the thing is, and here's the thing, what I'm saying is that I get that we have been given these abilities and these gifts, but the Jay that's here before you, you're not telling me something I don't know. But I need a little bit more than that. And I'll be honest with you, is that this is why I look to leaders.
Brother Jay, I was thinking, wouldn't it be marvelous if a pastor came late to church and said, I'm late because I stopped at the MARTA station and a person not only needed a ride, but they were going to lose their job if I didn't take them to work. So I had to take them to Emory. I'm sorry, I'm late. That's the witness. That's the authentic witness. God has sent a lot of people to you this last month. I don't know why you're waiting for a preacher to give you the word.
Come on.
I'm giving it to you right now. You have to have ears to hear. And if your ears are clogged, sometimes my ears get clogged, here's what I do. I go help some people. So this morning I picked up an 80-year-old lady that walks from her house to Greenboro. That girl is bad. She walks 2.5 hours. I try to get up when I've done something wrong and say, let me get some points with God. I'll get in my truck and pick up Doris. Take her to Burger King. She always said, you got my Christmas cookies ready for me? Because I have a whole list of people in and out of the church that I give Christmas cookies to. My wife and I love to bake rum cookies, okay? They just rum flavored. I take you off the list if you... I take you off the list.
Sometimes I put a little real rum in it. You're telling the truth.
Another testimony. I wasn't always 70 now. I was on that team. I was Gold Mellis on that team, but I've been off for 30 years. Anyway, so, and then on the way back, the young man, he was sitting there with his mama's Cadillac, I know his mama's car, and his truck. And I said, you need some help? And he said, well, I got this can of gas, and I'm going to be all right. He said, do you have some jumper cables? And so I went and got some jumper cables, came back, jumped his truck off. Now he's got 2 cars. He got the truck and his mama's car. So I took him back home so he'd only have 1 car, and I saw him calling work saying, I'm going to be a little late, but I got the car working. So I did. Went on and watched my football games and goofed around. My point is this. There are opportunities to help somebody all the time.
Right, right.
You're standing in the Kroger line, and that lady up there with 20 items. This is me. I go crazy when I see that. Got 20 items, and it's a 15 item or less line. God says, give her $5 to speed her away. Well, she needed the $5 because her car didn't have enough. Acts of kindness transform the world.
Yes.
And they transform your beliefs.
Yes.
And they get rid of depression. And they get rid of guilt. And that's why Jesus told us to wash people's feet, do that which you can do, which, what, I love that Ephesians